Welcome to Confirmation Bias, presented by the League Ambassadors.
I'm Ambassador Kenny Ken, and on behalf of the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron, you should have been the MVP, and that's my confirmation bias.
Judge.
I'm Ambassador Junior Blue, and we now know Doc Rivers has absolutely no say in what's going on with the Clippers, and that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Ambassador Dad, and at no time is murder a laughing matter. But one thing I can say wholeheartedly is that you can't get charged for it if you aren't in the state when the shit happens. And that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Red O, and Mr. Irvin Magic Johnson today said, impossible takes a week, so y'all need to calm the fuck down. I got this, and that's my confirmation bias.
And I'm Ambassador Chef Curry. If you think people in other countries don't love black people, just Google Klay Thompson in China, and that's my confirmation bias.
Welcome to episode 58, confirmation bias.
I was just going to say, Kev, Klay is a strong maybe.
As a reminder, you can follow us everywhere on social media. Our handle is @TheLeagueAM. Please check out our website, theleagueam.com. Specifically our online blog spot, Diplomatic Immunity, where if you have something to say about anything that's going on in the world of sports, you can submit that information to us. We will post it to our site. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, League Ambassadors. We've got a good show today. We've got some NBA, we've got some baseball, we've got some World Cup. Junior Blue, as Ambassador Dad says, what it do with hot topics?
Well, last night we had the NBA award ceremony. James Harden came home with the MVP. Rudy Gobert came home with the Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Simmons came home with Rookie of the Year.
He's not a rookie.
Okay. Was there any surprises? Was there any surprises?
No.
No.
No surprises.
No surprises.
Were they not quick with the memes for Donovan Mitchell with that sweatshirt?
Yo.
He had a sweatshirt that said runner-up literally right after
Oh, wow.
it happened.
He did it to himself.
Yeah.
He knew he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Today they had the side-by-side stats of LeBron and James Harden out there. So does anybody think LeBron should have won it?
I said it when we talked about it during the season that LeBron really should have been the MVP, and I know what I said in my confirmation bias. But seriously, I mean, I basically think it was a makeup. I feel like it was a makeup award because James Harden, his season went the way that his games go in playoff situations. It's a great first half. He came out the gate really hard, but, he faded down the stretch. And LeBron, regardless of, whatever the dynamics were with Cleveland, he had a very impressive 15th season, one of his most impressive seasons, I think, and was clearly, I think, the most valuable player for sure.
Played all 82 games.
Yeah.
Question, did Harden have a better season last season?
Number-wise, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Russ had that triple-double, so it was like, kind of had to give it to him.
You ain't got to give it
I'm
to
about to say,
nobody.
because he had it this year too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
but we knew that was all bullshit.
Yeah, it was the same as last year, though.
My thing is this. I think the LeBron comparison with Harden now, because the award ceremony is, 2 weeks after the season, 3.5 weeks after the last time Harden played, is irrelevant. It's a
Regular season award.
regular season award. they need to change this format. I know they're trying to copy the NFL, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
If you set aside some time and give the award or this ceremony at the end of the season, it makes more sense than us looking back at someone who faded in the playoffs, and then now he's the MVP.
He faded late in the season too. But the thing that made it the most awkward was Dwayne Casey winning Coach of the Year award,
and he got fired.
But he did it the right
Same
way.
team. Yeah. Same team.
Yeah, right. If they would have did it at the end of the season, right, before he got fired, because everybody knew he was getting that award,
right?
So they wouldn't have fired him until after that.
This is the one thing that the NBA they're losing to the NFL on, and that is staying relevant, staying in the news cycle after the season ends. The NFL does a good job just by virtue of the things that happen on its calendar to stay relevant and it's actually really interesting. Whereas the NBA, it really does sort of die off. So this award show is their attempt to do that.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, it's not. No one really cares.
When else would they do it though? Because the playoffs start maybe 2 days after the regular season.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask me, I think they could just do away with this award ceremony because next week is free agency. NBA
right. Well, what they could do is push the playoffs back maybe a week and then have the award show in between. You'll give teams to rest, you give teams to catch up, and then you have the playoffs. Everybody would be there. Because there were people who weren't there.
I think they can even do something slightly different than that. I think they can give the relevant awards at the end of the season and have fun with the fun awards like the Community Assist Award or the Sportsman of the Year or the Play of the Year. Like, they can do that shit after and figure a way to get that out of the way. I think if you give the award at the end of the season, you can have the MVP accept the award during the first round of the playoffs like they used to, and they get to accept in front of their home crowd.
Ooh, a good idea would be make it a almost like a White House Correspondents' Ball, and have
like an end of season.
No, the White House Correspondents is when people get
just
roasted.
roast?
Yes, have it a roast.
That's actually funny and entertaining, and would be that would wow. They
would have a lot of ammunition with all the outfits from last night.
And not only that, but it would that's good for personal branding.
Yeah,
because now you get to see different personalities. That would really piss off NFL players for sure.
make sure Bill Russell hosts because he's won the MVP 2 years in a row. If you ask me,
with 2 fingers.
he was definitely the winner from last night.
Did you see what he said? He was like, every time I see Charles Barkley, that's how I feel.
On site.
Hey, when you win as much as he's done and have done as much as he's done, you can give anybody the bird you want and not apologize.
I love that Devin called the Community Assist Award a fun award.
I mean, it has nothing to do with the play on the court.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something that's like a fan thing, damn near. Yeah. But I mean, did you guys?
Somebody stop.
What? It was making it less fun as you talk.
Say, hey, TLA cares about the kids.
That's Dad. Of course he cares about the kids.
You saying love the kids?
It just wasn't funny.
That's funny.
All right, let's change speeds and go to Major League Baseball.
I see what you did there, Les.
Yeah. Segue there.
Change speeds.
Hey, we are actually going in the halfway point of the season.
Yeah.
Has there been any surprises? I mean, you have the Red Sox and Yankees basically having the best records. You have, the Orioles not having the best record. Then you have
the fucking That's so low, man. That's so
low. And so has there been any surprises?
How bad the American League Central is. They've been outscored by 265 runs. It's a terrible division. For me, that's number one. Number two, it's not really that it's a surprise, but I guess it is a surprise. Just Mike Trout is fucking killing it. And
nobody knows.
No one cares. Knows or cares.
They would care if he was in a different team. And a different team,
would
different
they,
market.
though?
Yes.
No,
yes.
It depends on that team, and that goes.
If he was a Yankee, a Red Sox, or a Dodger, they would care.
That's a really good question. How do you feel about that, Kev? I don't know.
I don't think anyone cares about baseball right now in general because attendance on average is down. It's the lowest it's been in 15 years. Mike Trout could play for it don't matter. Pick a team.
Right.
And for the league as a whole, no one will be watching it. They're not right now. And you could attribute it to the fact that the majority of the teams have more strikeouts than they do home runs.
Yeah.
Like you said, the AL Central, there's only one team with the winning record. The AL East, unfortunately, like Les said, is as predictable as we thought it was going to be. There's nothing really exciting going on around the league that'll make me as a fan, it's just not on the show, but as a fan, either not pay attention to NFL offseason or NBA free agency and want to actually watch.
If you think about it, last year, there were home runs galore. And there was an excitement because you had these two rookies on both coasts who was just knocking the paint off the ball. And there's nothing like that this year.
I think the performance part is down due to the fact that how the game is played. We talked about it last year, how it's home run or strikeout.
Yeah.
And it's definitely strikeout.
And they're striking out way more. They're not paying attention to the nuances of the game. People aren't getting bunted over.
They're not putting the ball in play.
Not putting the ball in play.
Yeah.
I just think overall they try to make it more exciting in the wrong way. And I think what baseball needs to do, which they've been talking about doing, is promoting the game to the urban youth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, urban youth, we are what sets, I'm not youth, but what I'm saying is black folk, black kids, we are what set the tone for trends in this country. The music, the dances, everything. So you need to get them involved and get them on board with this and do something more about getting the big names in the sports visible. NBA is great at it. You see them in ads everywhere. You never see Mike Trout. You hardly ever see Judge. Like, you just don't see these players. And it's not like it's NFL where they have helmets on.
Now he cares about the community.
Now it's fun.
It's Devin's turn today.
The part of the problem is the culture of baseball is anti-fun. So it's like you are taught as you come up through the leagues to be a professional, to do it this way. Don't flip the bat. You don't celebrate. You don't show up the pitcher. You don't do this. It's anti-fun. So now once they realize, okay, these millennials ain't having that. Now they're doing stuff like the Cool Commission, which in itself is corny as fuck.
Did they get Bryce Harper to lead that? Or
Yeah.
no?
About as corny as that video that leaked yesterday. Anyway,
Video.
Anyway, let's get
the
should there be any
PG pitch.
Should there be any in-game changes? Do you think there's something they can do in-game?
I mean, they're trying to speed up the game, and the games are being played faster. I think Devin has actually really hit the nail on the head. I think it's less about the game and more about how they are promoting it or how it is marketed.
Look at the NBA. Look how
point.
terrible the product is, but people watch it because of how they promote it.
That's true.
That's true.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know it's true. Don't front.
I definitely agree. It's as much off the field as it is on. But I think today it came out that the NHL. I'm sorry, the NHL. The
MLB.
No, the National League is considering including the DH within the next couple of years, just because you get pitchers up at bat. And I don't know if you saw. I can't remember who he played for, but it was that pitcher that struck out on 3 straight pitches. It was just awful to watch. And you realize that the game is basically designed around, like Omar said, last year was all about home runs. Well, now the game is specialized to get guys out, for guys to hit into the shift. At the end of the day, the product is down. So I think they should consider, although I don't agree, I think the state that baseball is in right now, they have to consider some on-field changes to get offense back up and get the game to be relatively exciting.
For the life of me, I can't understand why people don't hit away from the shift. Like, you've been hitting baseballs your entire life. You don't know how to move the ball.
Joe Morgan used to gripe about that on Sunday Night Baseball. So many old baseball players.
Yeah.
They
Can you imagine if Tony Gwynn played today and they tried to shift
he would
on him?
bat 750.
They wouldn't shift.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just despicable.
I mean, you can only be if you was a shift buffer, they won't do it. But all right, folks, it's time for Black vs. Blue. So first up, for a little foreshadowing before, we got Mr. PG-13, Jacob Imrani. Shout out to Jacob. Lakers.
He's doing his part.
Lakers
Is he,
super
though?
fan. He has put out 2 different billboards. If I'm not mistaken, it's only 2.
40.
It's 40.
He bought 40.
No. I mean,
2 different types.
types.
Oh, yeah.
Styles,
yeah, he's put them out all over it. The first one was the LA Bron one, which was done weeks ago. And now he has the you can't spell purple and gold without PG.
Oh, they have 2 PGs, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
What's
Yeah,
the
they
other
do.
one?
Yeah.
They have. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read there's 6 different Paul George.
Oh Lord.
He went way in.
So Jacob is doing his own recruiting process. Is it hope or hype that these billboards will help a potential free agent like LeBron and Paul George make a decision to come here?
I'm going to say it's hope because I've been saying this shit for a year that Paul George was coming here anyway. So I think he could have saved his fucking money on the billboards.
You know how much money he making off those billboards?
His business is probably
Yeah.
booming.
My dad went to Jacob and Ron.
Devin,
cut that up,
clip it, tag him Ronnie, because that's a free commercial. Yeah.
I admit I was a little skeptical at first. I mean, of course, Paul George is from the area. You would think he would go there, but until he came out with that Sports Center special, that 3-part or 4-part series, I'm absolutely convinced he's coming now. You don't go through all of that to just say, yeah, I'm going to stay in OKC. It doesn't happen. I don't know if it's the billboards or not, but he's definitely coming out west.
Yeah, I don't think the billboards have anything to do with it.
Hope or hype, guys.
I think it's hype.
I'm hopeful that he's coming
I think
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think it's hype. I think that he's coming because it's what he wants to do. I think, if anything, he's coming because there's other help coming. He's coming because of the conversations and the leadership of Magic Johnson.
There's other help coming?
Huh?
Who else is coming?
LeBron James.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, LeBron James is coming.
Let me take a sip.
LeBron James is coming. Do we want to go to the next one? What's the next one? Hit or flop?
Speaking of Lakers,
Or X.
yes. Mr. Lavar Ball and the bullshit that is the JBA league. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it a hit or flop?
I don't even know
It's-
why you said hit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the question has to be asked. LeVar Ball started a league. It's called the JBA League. It's supposed to be
Junior Ball Association.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a avenue for players who don't wish to go to college because there's a one and done rule. You have to go to college, play 1 year, or be 19. So he's trying to have a different avenue for players if they want to come make a little money and then showcase their skills before they go to the NBA. Apparently, it has been a supreme shit show. But I'll ask the question: is LeVar Ball's JBA League a hit or flop?
I'm going to say flop for 200, Alex. Have you seen the quality of play?
NBA quality?
It's
not-
Westwood Rec quality.
It's
if
not
that.
even that. It's
Westwood
not
Rec would
24
be
hour
some pretty
fitness.
goddamn good games.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not even 24 hour fitness.
Cheviot Hills?
Stoner Park.
Stoner
Park.
I mean, it's horrible. They had a clip where
With the double rim.
they had a clip where there was 5 missed layups. It was a 30-second clip. It was 5 missed layups, a rebound, run out to the 3-point.
Okay, so who put the clip out? Was it their clip?
Nah,
Okay, somebody else.
Okay, just making
Yeah,
sure.
I've
It
seen
was
high
bad
school basketball look better than
yeah.
that. And I mean, I think we all want to support LeVar in the sense that he's creating an avenue, like Omar said, that's different from the status quo, that's different from the exploitative NCAA. Yep. But if you're going to do that, and I think what would hurt him isn't necessarily the end product. I think it's he didn't get the support he needed because of the antics, because of everything that he's done to lead up to who LeVar Ball and his 3 sons are today. I think if he had been a little more, I would say, along the middle in terms of how you can go about this and still be an entertainer, he'd be better off. But it's just a shit show, and I want someone to stop it.
If Ed O'Bannon is your consultant, it's not going to go far.
Have you seen the videos of the crowd? Or lack
what
thereof?
crowd?
Someone said you could stand at midcourt and throw a tennis ball in the stands and not hit anybody.
Jesus Lord.
That's funny.
There's more people on the court than in the crowd.
Lavar hurt Lavar in this case.
There's more people watching our flag football games than there was at this.
True story.
Wow. Let's get off that one. We I guess we can all agree that's a flop.
Unanimously.
Let's get to some NFL. So with potentially not Julius, what's his name? Julian Edelman, Jameis Winston, and Mark Ingram getting they are getting suspended. It ain't potential.
They're still under appeal.
No, what they're fighting for is to get the suspensions down. With either PEDs or just because of some stupid ass behavior in Jameis Winston's behalf. Is it newsworthy and nothing to see here that NFL teams have to worry about suspensions just as much as they have to worry about injuries, or even more?
I think overall, I think it's nothing to see. But specifically in the case of Jameis Winston, it's newsworthy because one of the number one qualities that you need to have as a successful NFL quarterback is great decision making. And it is clear, abundantly clear, and it has been abundantly clear that Jameis Winston struggles with that. So Tampa Bay has got a real thing to figure out here.
They got a year.
They got a year?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
As in this is the year? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't know that you can trust this guy to make quality decisions, and not only off the field, but on the field. So it's like,
I mean, we can go back to last season.
I mean, so, he's full retard.
Kev, we call that an F or dub this season. Fuck or walk. For me, I think
that's it for him.
I think it's newsworthy because this PED stuff seems to be coming up more and more. And I think with all the injuries that occur in the previous season, you have a lot of these guys, specifically Edelman, who are trying to get back on the field. And I think that's a big trend.
Yeah, I think Edelman, though, his thing is, it's actually interesting. Whatever he got popped for, allegedly, was not on the banned substance list. And that's one part of his thing. And then he's also employing what I call the Ryan Braun defense.
Oh, yeah.
Which is,
that happened.
Yeah, he's attacking the credibility of the science and how it was collected and what was done. And so, he's apparently, they're saying he's willing to even go further and take it into the courts if he doesn't, if his appeal is not successful. So that, that is interesting. I mean, we've known, I think, PEDs is in football.
I actually think players don't really give a damn anymore about it because the fans don't really give a damn about it anymore. Like, no one, okay, he got suspended for PEDs. He's back now. Who cares? Like, everybody knows it's in the sport.
It's definitely newsworthy for me, but not the suspension aspect, not necessarily because of PEDs, but because it's summer. These guys have a lot of money, and they have 3 to 4 weeks before they report for training camp. All types of shit can happen from now until then if these guys do contact. What is it? Detrimental to the team. Conduct detrimental to the team. So I feel like you give these guys enough time, man, we're gonna get some crazy shit to happen. Some crazy guys get suspended. It's just the NFL.
Bodies showing up in basements, all kind of shit.
For real. Damn. I personally don't think it's newsworthy because, I mean, I don't understand how when tests are happening.
They're scheduled, right?
They're scheduled. Weeks
That might
in
be more
advance.
newsworthy than anything.
I just don't get it. And so it's going to happen
secrets.
every year.
I feel like guys, because it's random, right? And so I feel like it's a gamble.
They
where
get
they
heads up.
Well, what I'm saying is that you may not get tested. That's what I'm saying. And so I think that they just gamble, especially like Devin said, a lot of them it is because they are trying to rehab more quickly from injuries because, again,
and their contracts aren't shit.
Exactly. The greatest ability you can have, especially in pro football, is availability. And so if I can rehab faster from my injury, and if I know that taking this supplement or taking this thing that I know I'm not supposed to take can help me get there, and there's a 50-50 chance that I may or may not get tested, for some guys, they feel like it's worth it because at least they keep their job. All right, debate time. Is you with it or nah? We're going to have the Johnson brothers to go at it. Our topic is the World Cup, specifically around Argentina and one Lionel Messi. Is Argentina's performance in the 2018 World Cup And by performance, I mean lack thereof. They barely qualified today.
Great game.
It was a great game.
Sorry, Era.
Era. Great game today.
Say it
They
with
did
your
qualify
chest.
they qualified for the second round where they will play France. But just in general, if Argentina continues to have a disappointing run, will this negatively impact the legacy of Mr. Messi? We will go to Big Bro Dev first. You call it in the air, heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
It does not. Unless Omar's the one throwing the coin.
But Omar's hands, dude.
Do that again.
Oh, that's strike two.
This one.
Tails.
Heads.
All that.
Kev.
I'll go ahead and say it will not taint Mr. Messi's legacy.
Devin, you want to go first? Or do you want Kevin to go first?
I'll actually go first.
Yeah, Dev.
I'm ready for this smoke. I wore a button up.
Hit the trap.
Oh, you got it? You got
What
it.
happened when master come to work?
Oh, my God.
When I start talking. Okay. All right. So Lionel Messi is regarded as the Mozart of soccer. The Messiah is his nickname. Sometimes they ask, is he real or is he a PlayStation character? A miracle from God is what he is called. And this is true. They actually injected him with HGH as a child to stop him from being a little person. This is a true fucking story.
Oh, wow.
And he's only 5'6". As great as he is, with 8 league titles, 4 Champions League trophies, 5 Player of the Year awards, and 4 in a row, and the highest score in all time in La Liga, he still hasn't won it on the international stage. So that is why he will be tainted. If he's going to be considered the Michael Jordan of a sport, he needs to be held in the same scrutiny as someone we talk about on the show all the time, who is LeBron James. We trash LeBron for losing all those finals and for creating the first super team. We need to do the same for Messi with his success with Barcelona, but not with his home country, Argentina. His contemporary, Cristiano Ronaldo, hasn't won a World Cup, but he puts it on the line when he plays international play. And all the top dogs like Pele and Maradona, that's where they shine. The people that make excuses for Messi they're similar to LeBron stands, where they blame Argentina for not being that good. But if you're that great as advertised, you have to take over and push your team through. He also doesn't even compete in other top leagues around the world. He's not even in the EPL, the English Premier League. Ronaldo does. He competes in different leagues, and he always comes through. If he doesn't get this World Cup win, it will definitely bring him down a few notches, just like we knocked LeBron. And that's my confirmation bias.
All right.
I just want y'all to remember that Michael killed Fredo.
All right.
Go ahead and cue me up. I'm ready.
I know it was you, Fredo.
So I disagree. I don't think that their performance in this World Cup is going to taint his legacy. They did have a tough loss to Croatia last week, but when the pressure was on today, when questions like this debate topic circulated, Messi answered the bell. He set the tone today with that 3-touch, that inner thigh foot kick goal early on to get them to win against Nigeria, which saved Argentina for the time being. But the mindset that Messi has to save Argentina is the basis for their World Cup struggles as a country. It's not Messi's alone. I think they place too much responsibility on Messi, like Devin stated, similar to LeBron, to do everything for them in a sport where one player can't single-handedly impact the outcome of a game like you can in other sports, like basketball. And not to mention, Messi isn't quite surrounded by the Golden State Warriors as a supporting cast, like Devin mentioned. It is important to state that he came out of retirement to basically play with a subpar roster. Can you imagine if Cavs fans burned LeBron's jersey, not just because he left the team, but after every single finals loss? He wouldn't be happy playing for the home team either, and would be anxious to take his talents elsewhere, would even play better when he's elsewhere. So it's no wonder when he plays for Barcelona that they win. He's happy there. He can't win for Argentina and doesn't play well for Argentina because they isolate him by putting basically the world on his shoulders, and they crucify him when the team doesn't play well. So even if you look at the Argentinian flag, right, which has that single sun-faced character sitting in the middle, that is not the son of May. That is Lionel Messi burning alone with no help. So while his legacy will be solidified with the World Cup win, not winning one can't completely be on his shoulders. Trick.
Kevin, that was funny. Red O, you heard both arguments. You don't really give a shit about the World Cup, so who confirmed your bias?
Fredo is still alive.
Oh my God.
He confirmed my bias. Winning, when it comes to greatness, is about winning, man. He on the biggest stage. He ain't winning. Simple as that.
I'll take the win, but I ain't fucking Fredo. Hey, Kev, if anything, if you're Michael, I'm fucking Sonny.
He died too.
Hey, but he went out like a motherfucking G.
And speaking of going out, we're going to head out. This has been another episode of Confirmation Bias. Follow us on social media. Our handle is @TheLeagueAM. That is Twitter. That is Facebook. That is Instagram. Also, please check out and visit our website, theleagueam.com. Also, please subscribe to our channel, League Ambassadors, where you can see all previous episodes of both Confirmation Bias and our NFL flagship show, 32 Kings Road. We will see you on Thursday. Cheerio.
I knew it was you, Fredo. Broke my heart.